Hello gamers, I'm online gamer Richie, and this is the game of the week where I decide on the 5 games that I reviewed last week, which of those games I thought was the most fun and worth playing the most. So let's go ahead and get this started. Let's talk about the 5 games I reviewed first. Spoiler alert. Let's see here. There was 140, Orcs Must Die, Freedom Fall, and Rogue Legacy. Each of the games is in its own class or category. So let's go ahead and talk about each one first. We're going to start off with Spoiler Alert, which was the last one I believe I reviewed. This game right here is a platformer. You play it backwards, which is what makes it really unique and kind of an interesting game. I don't know of many games where you actually play the game backwards. So basically, you start the game at the finish of it, and then you backtrack the way that you supposedly had played the game. So if you skipped a coin, you're supposed to miss that coin. Otherwise, you start a paradox in this game, which means you restart the level. Overall, this game is pretty good. The graphics are okay. The music is okay. Um, the game is, however, fun. Now, the major problems with it is the game is fairly quick and short, depending on how many paradoxes you do. So, for me, I'm halfway through the game in about 35 minutes total played time. So that is probably the major downfall of this game, and I don't think it's going to have the playability that most games have. Now, I do know that there is supposed to be an extra DLC for it. Now, let's go ahead and go on to 140. 140 is a very unique game in its own right. The graphics are very simple. You are a square that turns into a circle or triangle depending on whether you jump or are moving. It is a puzzle platformer, so you have to figure out how to solve the puzzles, and the puzzles can get to be very, very difficult. It's not an easy game. Now, I'm going to compare the easiness to each other, and as far as this one is compared to some of the other games, it is definitely harder than some of the games. But as far as the game being as fun as some of the other games, it's not my cup of tea. However, it is a good game. Do not get me wrong. It is an enjoyable game. And the fact that it is a puzzle game is one of the reasons why I decided to go in and pick it up, because I do happen to like puzzle games and I do like platformers. However, I think the thing that kind of put me off on this game a little bit was the fact that the graphics are very simple. However, the game is very difficult. So that's not bad. Orcs Must Die. Now, this game here is a tower defense game. Now, I am a big fan of tower defense games. I like them a lot. So, as far as that goes, that's very good for me because I like them. It is also kind of a third-person shooter because your character, you actually play a character that's helping defend your tower in this game. So, or at least the hallways. It's not really a tower, but that's beside the point. The graphics in this game are beautiful, and the fact that the music in it is pretty decent as well. And I truly like this game a lot. So, and this is a game that I have played for many hours, and it is still fairly difficult. And there are several levels of difficulty on this game. So playing it on easy is going to be one, and getting a whole new type of game when you play it on Nightmare. Okay, so now we have Freedom Fall. This game right here is another one, another platforming game. It is unique in the fact that there's not really any enemies that you have to worry about. However, you are falling downwards. So the platforms aren't left to right. It's kind of going down. There are some things that take you left and right, but the game is mostly trying to get you to go down this tower, which is very high. And so with that being said, the graphics in this game are pretty decent. I'm not going to lie. They're decent. The music's pretty good. Overall, this game is a lot of fun if you like trying to figure out how the best way to get down without getting yourself skewered by a spike or getting yourself cut up by some random thing that you may not have realized was there. So let's talk about Rogue Legacy. Now, this is another platforming game. It is a rogue-like game, which means when you die, that's it, you're dead. However, this one takes it a step further and allows you to come back as one of your descendants. Now, your descendants go from all different types, girls, males. Sometimes they're mages, sometimes they're paladins or warriors. Other times they're just weird, gigantic. Some of them are small, some of them are clumsy. So as far as that goes, that's where this game shines. Is the graphics aren't necessarily great, the music isn't super great. However, the game is procedural and is a lot of fun. So, which game have I decided wins? Well, for me, I'm going to say it comes down to one game, and that game is Rogue Legacy. Now, the reason I'm saying it's Rogue Legacy is I have played this game for more hours than any of the other games that I have. It is not easy. I have beaten it, but you will get plenty of playability out of this game. The graphics, like I said, may not be the best.